So recently I was watching History Debunked, and it talked about Sweden. The gentleman had a Swedish wife, and he lived in Sweden in the 70s. And he said he found the place kind of boring, and it was kind of a crime, like limited crime, and um, just a rather safe place to live. And then when immigration came along, uh, the crime rate rose on all forms of crime. And to me, the worst, like with the exception of murder, one of the worst crimes is sexual assault, rape. And I've heard that you say the word rape on YouTube, you could be, I guess, banned perhaps for saying something like that. But the rape rate in Sweden went very high. There was a time when women in Sweden, I guess in the beaches in the pool, would go topless. One of the things I wanted to do when I was a kid was to visit Sweden because of that whole thing. But women now are more covering up, and they've changed their outlook and their demeanor. And I'm reminded, by the way, of a story that Dennis Prager told. He said something of the effect that there was a woman who was raped. Uh, was either by recent immigrants or they were non-ethnically Swedish, and I think she was reluctant to report it because it would hurt immigration. And my thought is there are a lot of people who are so ideologically bent that they will accept sexual assault on themselves and even perhaps on their children in order to protect their ideology. And I ask myself, is this someone? And I ask myself, and I'll ask the limited audience that I have, is that someone you want to live near who will deny crimes and deny things and forbid you from talking about things because they have an ideological bent to it? And I also thought to myself, I wonder if talking about critical race theory, if it's going to be a worldwide thing, and if they'll talk about some of the migrants that come to Europe and the rate of crime that has increased, and the fact that uh, Sweden, from my understanding, doesn't talk about that and basically censors that part of the dialogue. And England does too, and America as well. They also censor crime statistics and talks of these things. And we can't be honest with each other anymore. And is that the society you want to live in, where you're forbidden to speak about justice, about culture, about your well-being, what's best for you? Isn't empathy a two-way street? Anyway, I want to say that one of the things that Joe and I are trying to do with our Transparency and Merit website is have honest discussions on things without any filters. and hopefully uh, we can cultivate with that, perhaps even cultivate a better way of living. I mean, whether it be uh, health wise, uh, both mental and physical, and what brings on the most, in my opinion, the most amount of happiness. Anyway, this has been Brian with Transparency in Marriage. Like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thank you for listening, those few that do.